All right, so for problem number 6, again, we're asked to solve for x. This is an interesting one because the fraction we don't like, right? But remember, Mr. Adams said that the number in front of the letter, in front of the variable, this is the coefficient of x, that's the last thing we deal with. So probably a simpler way to do this is move this 7 away from the x. That's a positive 7. That's technically being added to the x term. So to move the 7, we do the opposite of adding, which is subtracting. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do to the other. 7 minus 7 is 0. So that means on the right-hand side, I'm left with negative 2/5 x. 32 minus 7 is what, 25? That seem right to you guys? Okay. Now, I'm going to move the 2 and the 5. One of them is going to be negative. One of them's positive. It doesn't matter which one we choose. I like to leave the negative term in the numerator. So what I'm thinking to myself, if I want to move just this 5, what is the 5 mathematically doing to the x? It's dividing. So to move it, I'm going to have to do the inverse and multiply by 5. Whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. Now, 5 divided by 5 is just 1. In other words, those 5's cancel, and I'm left with negative 2x. 5 times 25, though, is 125. Okay? All right, so now I need to get rid of this negative 2. Technically, negative 2x means negative 2 times the value of x. So what's the inverse of multiplying? Dividing. Because it's a negative 2, I have to divide by a negative 2. These will cancel. When I say they cancel, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. And then this is just 125 all over negative 2. Now, you could write that as a decimal, but I'm okay with this answer right here. Okay. What is that, 62.5? How many of you guys had negative 62.5? So if you had negative 62.5,